Act 2, Scene 4, you finally see Regan and Goneril with Lear all together. Kent is still in the stocks, right? So because Oswald and Goneril and Kent all have this argument together, Kent is relaying what has happened to Lear. He says, I have been offended. They put me in these stocks. I can't believe they would do this to me. And Lear feels offended. Why? Why is Lear offended by this? If his servant, his most loyal servant, has been put in the stocks, why is that offensive to him? Right, they're thinking that then you don't trust me. How could you put my most loyal servant in the stocks? So, why is that sticking there? Regan and Goneril come in the picture. So Lear's talking to Regan, and she's saying, listen, you are a senile, old man. I want nothing to do with you. And he's saying, I saw more in you. You're not like your sister Goneril, but unfortunately, she doesn't see that. Goneril comes in the picture, and they decide, remember earlier in the play, they had minimized his knights down to 100 men? Do you remember that? After he divided his land, they took his knights down to only 100. Well, now they've decided, forget that. Let's minimize your knights down to 50. Goneril says, sir, you are old. Nature in you stands on the very verge of her confine. You shall be ruled and led by some discretion that discerns your state better than yourself. And because he's so upset, he says, well, hold on. You can't just do that. Remember, we kind of had a discussion about who holds the power here, right? And because he kind of fights back, she says, okay, if you will fight back on this, I can reduce this number to 25. So be careful what you wish for. So now they have kind of taken on this power. What do you notice about the husbands, Cornwall and Albany? Do they have any power? Not really. So we have the land divided in three. We have Goneril, Regan, and then Cornwall and Albany share that last piece, right? But they really don't have a say in anything. Let's see. Nearing the end of scene 4, they've minimized his people. We don't know who's king, right? We don't know who holds these titles. There have been multiple names Lear has been called, but he has not been called king. He's been called my lady's father. He's been called a fool, but he has never been called king. So he's being reduced to nothingness, okay? As this begins, there's a terrible storm that appears, okay? This terrible storm occurs in Act 2, Scene 4. When you think of a storm, what sort of things do you think of? When there's a thunderstorm going on, how do you feel?
I love thunderstorms.
You do like thunderstorms. Okay, but when there's a thunderstorm going on outside, what does it look like?
Wet.
Wet?
Kind of
There's lightning, right? Things, sometimes trees break.
It's like not controlled.
Not controlled, okay. We say the storm is a significant symbol. It begins when Lear lost his whole family and revealed in Act 3 his sanity. Think about it this way. Sometimes when there's a thunderstorm you hear, or even a tornado warning, they say, stay in your basement, be safe. It's kind of a little bit dangerous, right? Oh, I'm running out of time. But this storm is significant because you kind of see this as his ultimate crumbling of power. Like, this is the breaking point. This is where you see Lear. Okay, well, we'll talk more about the storm scene in the next. Bye, everybody.